Hey, what's up, black people? How you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm here in Medellin, Colombia, and it's February, and I'm hot. I'm wearing too many clothes right now, but you know, better be too hot than too cold. I want to talk about this. I was reading an article in Essence magazine, a well-written article by a sister who was understandably upset because Tamron Hall at MSNBC, or at the Today Show, she used to be at MSNBC, I think, was let go in favor of a white woman, Megyn Kelly, the lady from Fox. I'm walking up a hill, that's why. If it sounds like I'm out of breath, that's why. So anyway, Megyn Kelly replaced Tamron, and apparently they didn't really let her know what was going on or whatever. Joyanne Reed was also mentioned, who had a show at MSNBC, and Joyanne was pretty graceful when they dumped her ass. Melissa Harris Perry was not as graceful. She was kicked out of MSNBC after they got finished using her up. And what's interesting is, so I'm reading this article by this lady in Essence magazine, and she's, justifiably upset because black women keep getting disrespected by these white media outlets. What's interesting to me is that we don't always understand as black people why we make ourselves vulnerable to white supremacy, why we volunteer ourselves to be victimized by white folks. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's think about it. This woman's expressing her outrage over black women being fired by this big white media outlet, and she's writing in Essence magazine, which is owned by white people. So the existence of your voice is predicated upon the idea of some white man giving you approval. You don't have nothing to say if the white man don't allow you to talk. If he tells you to shut the fuck up, you can't say a word. You can't do nothing, right? So that's the fundamental issue right there. You're utilizing avenues created by white people, deliberately created by white people, that are not available to the general public, that are available to select Negroes, to express your opinions as a black person. What else? Well, I saw the sister mentioned in the article, and I'm not attacking anybody, so don't think I'm attacking the sister at all. It's because I could have easily written a similar article maybe 15, 20 years ago before I understood how wealth works, how power works, how white folks work. She also mentions that Tamron Hall made black history by being the first black woman to anchor the Today Show. That ain't no motherfucking black history. That's not black history. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an achievement. Tamron Hall's a damn good anchor. She deserves that opportunity. But what if MSNBC or Today Show, whoever the hell it was, what if the Today Show had never given her the opportunity? What if the Today Show had said, we're going to pick a new nigga. We're going to pick somebody else. Or we're going to pick a white person, like they did, right? Does that mean Tamron Hall is not as accomplished? Well, yes, it does, according to your definition of black history. You define black history through the lens of whiteness. You allow white people to pick your heroes. If white people decided tomorrow, if a white organization decided tomorrow to make me the first black CEO of IBM, y'all would really think that I had made black history. If I was elected by white people to be president of the United States, you would really say, oh my God, Dr. Boyce, that's one of the greatest achievements in the history of all black people. No, it's not. That's assimilation. That's approval. And it's dangerous approval, because it's approval from the people who spent 400 years oppressing you and raping your grandmother. I mean, these are people that don't like you very much. So why in the hell would you define your own success by whether or not people who hate you choose to like you temporarily? Because they don't like you permanently. You saw what happened to Melissa. Melissa got booted out. Tamron Hall got booted out. Joyanne Reed got booted out. All the other black people on MSNBC got booted out as soon as they didn't need them no more. And what I'm trying to help black people understand is this, and I talked to Dr. Claude Anderson yesterday and the day before. We talk all the time about powernomics and what it means to have true power, what it means to represent black people first, and what it means to avoid the traps of white supremacy. We must stop defining black history through the eyes of white people. We have to stop thinking that some Negro who got some important job working for white folks is somehow an accomplished black person. No, the most accomplished black people are actually the ones who are hated by white people. Because white people, if white corporations, if white supremacist institutions, which most of them are, if white supremacist institutions stamp you on the forehead with their seal of approval, that pretty much means they're comfortable enough with you to not see you as a threat. But when you truly are competing with white folks, when you truly are a threat to white supremacy, they're not going to embrace you and reward you and pat you on the head and say, good boy. They're going to reject you and kick your black ass out. That's what happens. So when we're looking for a hero, we need to stop looking for the Negroes on TV, the Negroes who got the good jobs, the Negroes in Hollywood, the Negroes who are, in politics and all that. Those ain't the heroes in our community. The heroes in our community are the soldiers out here fighting, men and women who are out here fighting to build something that's going to be truly ours. If we owned NBC, then Tamron Hall wouldn't have to worry about being replaced by a white woman. Melissa Harris Perry wouldn't be in there getting all mad because, oh, I built this audience, I did this and I did that. No, you didn't. I mean, you did all of that. You were working for them. And they let you know, okay, thank you for your service. You can go now. They used you up and they spit you out. It's not your fault. Maybe you just weren't educated on how that game works. The power game is not one that's built in such a way that black people can obtain power easily or that we can get it overnight. But we feel that way because white people offer us these glamorous, shiny jobs, and we really think that we've actually accomplished something. No, I mean, maybe the most you've accomplished is that you're good at what you do. There's no question about that. Also, you've accomplished their stamp of approval. So in some ways, and again, just talking about black history, what it means to make black history, what it means to be an accomplished black person. In many ways, we allow white people to be our parents. Think about it. What does a parent do? A parent shapes the whole universe of that child. A parent shapes the child's perspective. A parent decides if that child is going to feel good that day or feel bad that day, right? A parent decides, I want to boost his self-esteem, so I'm going to let him drive the car today. The parent says, oh, I want him to feel good. I want him to have a little bit of extra money, so I'm going to give him a little more money today, right? Well, white folks are your parents because they tell you when you get to feel good about yourself. If you think about it, think about how many black people are here looking for jobs and they feel better about themselves when white people give them jobs. When they don't give them jobs, they feel bad about themselves. When they get an award at their job, at their white company or whatever, they feel accomplished. Like, look at me, mama, I made it. I'm successful now because white people have given me this important position and now I feel like I'm a more important Negro than I was before, right? They define whether or not you're going to be a black hero or not. Right? If they want to create a black hero, all they got to do is find some Negro off the street and put him on TV every day. And then suddenly he becomes an inspiration to millions of black people. You don't understand how dangerous that is. White people understand this. White people never let you take over their media outlets like you do. We worship Essence Magazine and the Root.com and BET and all these outlets that are owned by other people. Jews would never do that. Jews would never let black people own a media outlet that affects the thinking of millions of Jews. They would never let you do that. They would call you out, put you on blast, and put your black ass out of business as quickly as possible. So when we talk about black history, and I don't want this to come off as me being hostile toward Tamron or Melissa and I are not friends. I'm gonna just be real with you. Melissa Harris Perry and I, we had this debate with Al Sharpton. And Al was trying to pretend to be a moderate or neutral between the two of us, but he wasn't neutral. They both pretty much went to go work for Obama. And it's not that I had an issue with Obama. I just don't work for politicians. I refuse to work for any politician. I will work with any politician, but I will not work for any politician. And so Melissa and I are not the best of friends. I took offense to her allowing the Democrats to use her as an attack on Cornel West because historically, black women are unfortunately sometimes manipulated into attacking black men for their own personal gain or to express their own grievances in the public forum, again monitored and controlled by white folks, that leads to the destruction of the black man. I believe that the black woman can challenge and confront the black man for our foolishness, but it has to be done within our boundaries, within our parameters. So Melissa and I don't see eye to eye on that, but at the same time, I think she's very smart. I think she's very good at what she does. She was clearly deserving of the opportunity she had on MSNBC. But at the end of the day, that ain't yours. That ain't your company. And every time you start getting all proud and bloated and sticking your chest out, like, look at me, I'm a strong Negro. I'm a successful Negro. That white man stands right above you and he hits you upside your head with a hammer and tells you, nigga, you ain't nothing without me. You ain't accomplished nothing without me. I'll put your black ass out in the street, you'll disappear, I'll blackball you and you won't exist anymore. That's what they say to black people in media. That's what they say to black people in Hollywood. That's how they threaten black people in academia. That's how they threaten black people in corporate America. That's why you live the majority of your life in fear. So get mad at me about it if you want to. I know a lot of a lot of us are trained to think in a way that's gonna lead them to be upset about what I say. And I'm not really talking to those people. I mean, I think those people know I'm smart enough to know that I've analyzed these things. I broke it all down. I know what it's like to get beat down by a white man. It happened my whole life. I got tired of it. So black people, we don't learn to build our own. We're gonna always have this problem. You're always gonna be running around mad because of what white people did. But think about it like this. White people ain't giving a damn about what you think. They ain't mad about nothing that you're doing. They're not feeling any kind of way about you affecting their self-esteem because they know you don't control none of their shit. They don't let you control their shit. So at the end of the day, black people, don't let other people control your shit. If you do that, you're always going to be vulnerable. I didn't mean to cuss so much, but sometimes profanity is the best language to use when you're dealing with a warlike situation. We're at war right now. We got to be smart. So take care. Talk to you guys soon. Love you. Peace.